Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the PodXCast, the very first episode, and I'm very excited to get this journey started.
Oh, we're not starting over again?
No, we could just go for that. I mean,
sure,
it's
I'm okay with it.
It's our first episode. We fucked things up. It's our very first show, and I got that from Full House, by the way. There will be a lot of fucking references as the show progresses.
Oh no.
As always, each and every week, I bring you a friend of mine, and we just talk for an hour for your amusement. And this week, for the first ever episode of the PodXCast, I have here.
Hi, I'm George.
You didn't say your usual name?
I like to go by the name It's Just George on most, online media, but I don't know. I attempted to, regularly make videos multiple times in the past over various channels. But nowadays I just like to work towards the career that I want to go into, which is being an author, a writer of any sort. And so I want to focus on that more, rather than making consistent videos like Joseph is able to do. But he nicely offers to have me come over regularly so we can record together.
You are about
nice.
You are 80% of my recurring cast. You are an unofficial member by this point. You just got to sign the documents.
We do a lot of videos.
Yeah, and this year I just recently started.
And we're actual friends outside of this, just so we're clear.
Yeah, it's not just I tolerate him for the few hours every month, and then after that I never talk. No.
Nah, yeah, we hang out.
I know his
regularly.
I know his family. I know his girlfriend. So yeah.
Yeah. So
I
like the idea of doing a podcast together. I want to see where this goes.
Yeah, because you were on a I'm jumping ahead here. So. On the show, we start up the PodXCast with, I want to know your origin story. I want to know...
My origin?
Yeah, your origin story. I knew you in high school.
That's correct.
Your sophomore year we were in school for my...
Technically, I've known you since...
my sophomore year, your freshman year.
Yeah, technically.
But we didn't
became friends
the
next junior year.
Yes. I think we first
friends, because, that's when we started,
That was
hanging
when
out,
we saw Winter Soldier. That was the first time I actually considered you as...
Second Captain America movie.
And then we just sort of just made a tradition to see every April-May movie together.
Yeah, that's fun, yeah.
I can't wait for Infinity War, but that's another episode for another time. So I want to know your origin story. I want to know what predated your life before I met you and to become the person you were then, and what happened after I left. Because we still talk to each other often, but it's just I want to know for the viewers, because hopefully one day when you do become whatever you're going to become, I want them to look back on this episode and say, oh, so this is where he came from.
I see. That sounds fun.
Yeah, even though this will be a very, very,
I won't go too much into detail.
Oh, yeah, obviously. Now, as always, before you start your story, you could omit names. Anyone that we already know on the channel and that you said before you could reference. Again, keep names out of it if you want to. You want to just say it by initial, by an anagram, go ahead. Or just a title, you go ahead.
Well, I've grown up in Bayside, still live there. I went to... I'm trying to think from the very beginning. I grew up in the same room my whole life.
Was your crib in there? Was your crib
I think so.
Oh
yeah.
My god.
One of the earliest memories I had is just me in a crib just being bored as fuck. Do you have a memory like that?
I think so. Again, my earliest memory that I remember was... What was my earliest memory? The earliest memory I remember was my dad giving me a frozen pizza. That was the worst fucking food on the planet. And to be fair, my dad is an amazing cook. It's just that at that time he was tired. He worked a long night.
He just wanted to heat up a frozen pizza.
And I was awake, so I'm like, do you want some pizza? And I said, baby talk. Yeah. And it was just horrible.
So grew up in the same place, same town. I love it over there. It's a great town. I'm trying to think, because I don't want to give too much away.
Yeah, you can't. And there are some stories you can save for future episodes once you come back.
I got this. So, like I said before, I want to be an author, a writer of any sort. I would love to work on TV shows, movies,
comic books.
Comic books is like the quote unquote dream job. That's what I would love to go into myself.
But, I can easily imagine you going to Image Comics. I can easily imagine that.
I would love to, but honestly, if the ideas that I come up with are, showcased in any way,
you want to be involved.
Then I would love to be involved, yeah.
So you want to be like a Robert Kirkman.
Sort of, yeah.
Except you would end your show very, very earlier instead of dragging it on.
Yeah.
Because, spoilers, at the time of this episode, Walking Dead has been renewed for season 9.
Right? That's crazy.
But yeah, and a lot of viewers have jumped off from season 8. Not me, because I'm a loyalist. I support every show I watch. Even though some people say you should give up on the show, I'm like, better I reach it to the end than give up on it and still have to come back to it eventually. Hey
man, even though like I don't agree with it, I stopped watching around season 5 and I was satisfied. If somebody were to have fun with the other seasons, if they were to extremely enjoy it, who am I to stop them? Even though I don't think they're that good.
Yeah, coming from a person who has seen those seasons, 6
I've seen various bits of it.
Oh yeah, because of trending stuff, viral videos, stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm just not interested.
Season 6 was okay. I still find season 5 was enjoyable. Season 7 was a mixed bag because it was jumping all over the place, no clear direction. All it was like Negan's in charge now. That was it. And Rick's his bitch. That was season 7. I literally explained that to you, but we could...
Yeah, I remember you said that once in a Skype call. Like, I literally just explained the entire season to you.
Yeah, You're welcome. Was it. Every Walking Dead fan will support me out there. That was literally season 7. Season 8 right now, it's trying to be better. They've made some risky moves. At the time of this recording, I just wrapped the first half. Second half hasn't started yet. They have made some risky moves. Got a little better, but, it's still nowhere near the beginning quality. Nowhere.
Okay. That's fair.
Hopefully the new showrunner will take over well for season 9.
Well, yes. So, anyways,
back to your origin story.
Yeah, back to the origin. I guess what I mainly want to go into is like why that's the career that I want to work in. So, I guess like, and tell me not if this is your thing also, but I feel like kids are very creative.
Yeah,
they like to just come up with.
They have like that's I think the imagination like it's truly like at its peak.
Yeah.
Then once you get older and like life experiences happen, then like the imagination levels go down.
Yeah, because you have very other things to focus on.
Oh yeah, and that just has to get restricted.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still there. You could still always tap back into it. I'm not saying like it's gonna go away. It's just like it's just a little bit harder to get back into it.
Oh yeah, and so I guess. All kids just like coming up with crap and saying like, oh, I want this, I like to see this, and all that. I was very much the kind of kid who did that a little bit more often than others. But, I just kind of kept going with it. I also had access to a decent computer, because you don't need a lot of you don't need a powerful computer to handle like Microsoft Word.
Oh yeah, any computer can handle Microsoft Word.
Yeah.
If your computer can't handle Microsoft Word, you gotta get a new computer.
Yeah. So I just got used to it. I loved typing. I as a kid I was a bit of a faster typer than the rest of them. Not by much. Mm-hmm. And so like the things I would come up with, I would just write them down. I would just put them down on a piece of paper, not necessarily like in a story format. I would just say like this is what would happen, and silly little like kid ideas, just put onto a paper. Mm-hmm. Nothing much, but something drove me to just keep going at it, and I've been doing it ever since. So around high school, like I've always been telling up until high school, I've always told myself like I would love to go to like work into that. That would be awesome. But I didn't know much about the career path. So around high school is when I definitely like started looking into, what would things be for that type of career. Yet, I started to like advance my skills very much. Sorry, I'm trying to find a decent way to describe this. Yeah, I very much started to like, I guess, hone my skill. You know, like I started writing short stories. I wrote comic book scripts, and I looked into like how most writers start, you know, making money off of the work that they do. And that's where I'm at now. I'm working towards it. I'm currently going to college and all of that crap, trying to get the degree.
Yeah, you still need you need the degree to make the money.
Yeah, you need the degree to make the money.
I mean, some people have like went on to have successful careers without a degree, but it's just like a very rare, you know, chance.
It's getting rare, more and more.
You have to be, because you know a lot of ideas are getting taken, so you have to be blowing the world away if you're gonna like at least do that level.
Yeah, really, because the kind of mentality that the writers community is that nothing is original, that you're just rehashing at least something, you know,
to make something new.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but that doesn't mean it can't be enjoyable.
Oh yeah, I take like recent example of Stranger Things. Like it is reused some old plot elements, but was able to make something new of it.
Exactly.
But I don't think I haven't seen anything like really, really, really original in like a long fucking time.
It's tough. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's got to be something that could be divisive, something that could be like not everyone would expect, and well, for studios, you know, you need money is like key for everything.
Yeah.
You need money to support the product, and you need money to make the product. And you need money to, you know, you got to earn money afterwards. So it's like money's a huge factor in everything.
Oh, it's a huge factor in everything. You have to satisfy producers in many ways, especially in like film and stuff.
Yeah. Which is why I think for Disney right now, for an example, is killing it right now. They're just making so much amazing content. Like, granted, Last Jedi was a different story, but
arguable
like, with their Marvel stuff and now with their purchase of Fox, you know, I think they'll be able to continue enjoying that creative flow.
They're doing good.
Yeah, I can't wait to see where the Fox buyout leads them, and we're gonna get X-Men, Fantastic Four back.
Yeah,
importantly, Deadpool. God, it'll be fucking amazing to see Deadpool in Disneyland.
It would.
I'm pretty sure, right? I am gonna make a.
That is right. He might be in Disneyland.
I'm gonna make a.
No, you know how like Disneyland has bars now.
Oh no.
Yeah, that is the perfect place. He'd hang out there.
I would love to go to Disneyland just for that day that Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool. I would love to go. Then again, we would probably be swarmed by other fans, so it's like, well, I'm not gonna be special enough to like get a one-on-one on him.
Yeah. No.
Now, dissecting back to your origin story a little bit.
Yes.
I find it a coincidence. Now, again, as always on the show, you don't have to say names. You're not obligated to say names. I found it interesting, for an example, when you and your current girlfriend.
Yes.
How far back your friend... Because you two were friends.
It's funny, yeah.
It started as a simple get-together at a theme park, not knowing that eventually, years later, you guys would eventually, you know, be dating.
That sounds so vague.
I mean, you can...
Yeah, I'll go more into detail. So, I knew her in middle school. Like, we just happened to be in the same class. I was like, oh, that person. I know them. Yeah, so, like, we knew each other in middle school, just not that well. And then after middle school, you know, I go to high school for 2 years. I friend requested her on Facebook one day just because, like, I recognized her. I'm like, wait, that person. That's right. And, like, also, yeah.
Every middle school and high schooler on Facebook in that era.
Right? Yeah. And so I friend requested her. I didn't hear back. I'm like, whatever. And then, like, a year later, she accepts. And I'm like, why did it take this long to accept? And so it turned out that she was living in China for 2 years because...
Family.
Yeah. Family stuff. Nothing bad, just...
I think it's like...
That's just like where...
For a job, or was it like a family reason? Or, well, again, no specific, just like a general...
Yeah, a bit of both, you know?
Okay.
Family, work, that type of stuff. And so, she comes back one day, the very first day of, like, our junior year of high school.
No, it was my junior year.
My junior year, your senior year. He's like a year older than me, so.
Oh yeah. Now I remember that.
Yeah, Joseph's like a year older than me, so it's hard to adjust with time and stuff. But
I mean, yeah, it should be easy, but sometimes it's hard.
Yeah. So in my junior year, her junior year as well, she just walks into class one day being like, "Oh, hey, George. It's been a little while. How's it going?" I'm just like, "Jesus Christ, woman! It's been like..."
Did you actually call her woman, or you just called her girl?
No, I was just like, "Dude, it's been 2 years."
Well, 2 years since you graduate together. And,
yeah. And so that's like when we became like actual friends. Mm-hmm. You know, that's when we like hung out every once in a while. Yeah.
Now here's the thing. This is like, you know me, I make predictions. Most of the time my predictions go horribly wrong.
Horribly wrong.
But there have been chances where, holy shit, I'm actually right. This was
I can't argue against that.
This was one of those predictions where was not a prediction, but more like I called it. Because it was September. Yeah, so around the time you just started meeting her. I assume you knew her for a while. Well, technically you did, but it's like I thought she was like in the school. Like,
I know where you're going with this.
And I noticed you, and I was like, well, why didn't you go ask her out on a date? And you actually said, I should. Obviously, it never happened because I feel like your wording, your messaging to her was like, do you want to, like, well, how'd you say it again? Like, did you?
I was just like, do you want to get, like, lunch after class? And she was just like, I'm busy. And I was like, you know what? She could have interpreted that in any way. Exactly. But I don't care. Because, like, the thing is, like, in high school, I was, for lack of a better word, an idiot.
Oh yeah,
you know,
I
was very immature.
A lot of people, don't worry.
When it came to women, you know,
I was a complete idiot. I'll talk about that one day, but
yeah, you know, like I just asked out practically everyone.
We'll get to that. Let's just focus on this story for. Let's not muddle.
Again, that's all I'm gonna say. I won't go too much into this. It's just like I had just asked out a lot of women at the time. So like
woman.
Well, girls, yeah.
Quotation mark, woman.
The female.
The females, yes. The female race.
So yeah, like, I was just like, I don't know if she interpreted that in any way, but I realized I probably shouldn't attempt that again. So yeah. And then, like, we were friends. We hung out every once in a while.
And it just became a gradual few...
It just became a gradual thing.
It was a 3-year journey.
Pretty much, yeah. Like, and eventually we were just like, do you want to try dating? Like, it was a mutual thing. Like, we were kind of getting a little bit closer. And so we were just like, you want to go out? Sure.
Well, you said she made the first move.
She did make the first move. That is correct.
Well, because you two had just...
we were talking about it, but, like, she, like, eventually, you know, she brought it up.
Yeah, because you two have been through... You were, like, during that 3-year gap of you guys meeting each other, you asked her out, but I don't think that actually was the proper messaging. I don't think
that went through.
Yeah, that. And then you both went on a 3-year journey of, like... I don't know about her, but, like, I know you went through a couple of, like romantic misfires.
Romantic speed bumps.
Speedballs, misfires, just stuff you thought it was going to work out, but it didn't.
Yeah, nothing that I'm gonna...
Yeah, don't worry.
You know.
Yeah, that's fine. And then, like, it just led to... Like, I always interpreted you guys went out on Super Bowl Sunday.
See, that's the thing. Like, this conversation in which, like, that I'm referring to, in which, like, she made the first move, this happened on Super Bowl Sunday. A day when, like...
Of all days.
Of all days, right? You know? It's just like, why?
You should have been focusing on all the good trailers that were coming out.
I was. That Stranger Things Season 2 trailer was fucking amazing. We were mainly watching the Super Bowl just for the commercials. Right?
Oh yeah, I do that every year. Like, I used to throw like mini parties here, even though it was like 2 people, not really a party, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And we just usually play Monopoly.
Yeah. The game was fucking amazing though, just because. Yeah. You remember? That was like that insane comeback game.
Oh yeah, was that the?
I'm not even like into sports that much.
Was Tom Brady the one last year?
Yeah, Tom Brady.
Yeah, that was his 5th ring, so he has a full.
He has a full like Infinity Gauntlet style.
Like, if he punches you, like there's just 5 years all across your face.
Yeah.
He might go for 6 maybe this year. I mean, I doubt it. I know nothing about football. I just go to the Super Bowl because of the trailers. That's really it.
That's all.
So I'm like, okay, I just need some
like that interesting
because I still have to watch the game either way. So I'm like, okay, what happened the season? Like anything I should look forward to? I make a bet, and most of the time I lose. So
it is how it is.
Yeah, so I always like refer to your unofficial your unofficial start to your relationship around Super Bowl Sunday. I feel like maybe one day you should take her to a Super Bowl game.
Oh my god.
I mean, come on, like this is
not the first time he's mentioned this to me, so
oh no, what would be
don't blame me
what
if
would
I'm
really
just a bit
be
annoyed.
What would really be romantic is you go back to the like okay, you weren't at that Super Bowl, obviously. You weren't actually there. But what if you went to the same exact stadium they were playing in the night that she well, not confirmed, but more like asked you like, do you want to try this? Do you want I'm giving you great romantic, advices for like milestones, and you are completely ruining them.
You gotta admit, it's a bit cheesy.
A bit cheesy, but some girls like cheesy.
Oh yeah, but
think about it. I mean, hell, you're approaching the 1 year. Well, actually,
we're approaching a year.
At the time of this recording, you're approaching a year. I have no idea when this is going live, so this could be. I'm pretty sure this is going to come after your 1 year anniversary. So congratulations on your 1 year.
Thanks.
But yeah. The thing is, for me, when I look at relationships, I always think of them as like not the current, but like could they last into the future? Like and that's I feel
like a lot of people do that.
For me, I could easily see you two going all the way. I could easily see it. I don't know, like, I haven't seen you guys get into an argument, which is that's a weird thing, because when people say, like, oh, you guys gotta get into arguments, like, no, you don't. Yeah. Like, just, okay, I get... Well,
I definitely find it to be weird, like, huh.
That means
we get into disagreements. And
that's like, fine, that's perfectly
fine. We
don't
agree, but, like, at least we're just like, okay, you feel that way, I feel this way, this is what we gotta do.
Yeah, but you haven't had, like, a major fight where it's, like, it has to change anything, which is, like, a good thing. I'm not saying you're still in the honeymoon phase, but it's like, well, technically you had a very long honeymoon phase by the looks of it. And that does have an end point eventually. Don't worry about that.
There's a vlogging couple that I follow.
Was it the one that was in Japan or something? Or was it... You sent me a vlogging couple once on Facebook.
I don't know. I follow 3 vloggers who live in Japan at the moment.
How about we not talk about vloggers considering what happened earlier this year?
Yeah.
That was a fucking travesty.
Oh,
that was a mess.
Okay, so, yeah. They just happened to, like, make a joke on how, like, they're in a constant state of, like, honeymoon phase, even though they've been together for, like, 5 years.
I mean,
married for 5 years,
oh,
just so
God.
we're clear. So dating longer. Can they just make jokes on it?
Because for me, it's like every relationship is different. There's no like one same relationship type.
It's true.
It's always like varies.
Yeah.
So it's like I figure like if you're in that honeymoon stage, I feel like you found that one person, but then again, you never really know what's gonna happen in the future. I mean,
you never know. Like I'm just going about this as it comes. I'm dealing with the cards I'm dealt. It's just like, all right, this is working out so far. Let's see where this goes.
Yeah, I don't think you haven't had like in that specific card. You haven't had like any changes whatsoever.
Exactly.
I feel like that card.
So it's working out. Just what I'm going with.
You gotta think long term, bro. You gotta think long term. Like once you approach that year mark, it's like okay, like it's time to get a little bit more serious.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to start spending some money. You're gonna have to start spending like trips to like places. Well, you took it to Long Island once before, right? Or was that just a solo thing for you?
What are you talking about?
You said you went to Long Island with her or something like that. I forgot. There's just too many stories.
I've been to Long Island a couple times, because we're not too far from Long Island.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know. I think I could be confusing it with someone else. I really don't remember. There's just way too many stories to tell.
There are.
But yeah, I'm really happy for that.
So that's how it is between her and I. Sorry, Joseph, go on.
No, I'm really happy for that aspect of your life. Like, that's at least the more stable part of your life at this point.
Thank you.
That's like, something like, okay, if everything else fails, you at least have that.
Yeah.
And you should consider moving in together. Okay, going too far.
Going just a bit too far, buddy.
I mean, hell, you could be the Marshall and Lily of the real world. But technically, there are just some very, very, very striking differences. You are not Jason Segel.
She will not put me in debt.
Well, technically,
that's a major complaint about that show. We're talking about How I Met Your Mother, by the way.
Yeah, the show you got. Like, here's the thing with George, and this is the perfect segue to the next part. You keep getting me into these shows, and you just fall behind.
On accident, too. I'm just like, hey, man,
every show you watch me, I've always surpassed you. That's the thing. You're hurting yourself.
I know.
Because, like, I used to... Because when I was starting How I Met Your Mother, it was like, I was reaching out to... Well, technically, that was the first show that was finished.
I was like, do you want to check it out? And if you like it, we continue.
We binged the first half
season. We binged the first half of the first season.
And the first day. And then an old friend of mine came over and he joined along. So it's like, God damn it.
I've watched the entire show twice, by the way.
I think I did too. Like,
One of my favorites.
I did the first. I watched the first. Yeah. I watched the series fully. And then I just went back and watched like the best episodes. Mm-hmm. Like the episode with like.
I do that often too. I check out like the holiday episodes as well.
I think my favorite episode was. What was my favorite?
It's hard to pick a favorite episode, man.
All the slapping. I mean, I know what my best episode is. I just read Blitzgiving, best episode of the series because I love Blitz. Okay, he's the best character.
Yeah, I could see that.
Blitz should have been like this. He should have been the sixth character. He should have been. He just got out. The actor just got off Lost, which I still have to finish. Netflix is a bitch. He just got off Lost, so it's like that could have been the perfect like segue role, like. A stable, you're not on an island every week, comedy show. That would have been a perfect. I mean, then again, the whole, running joke of like he's getting bad luck all the time would have gotten stale eventually. Yeah. But it could have had an interesting storyline.
You could have added more to. You can add more to any character,
Yeah, I mean, like maybe they broke the curse or they did something that would have been all fun episodes. But it's like I don't know why he didn't stay aboard.
He might be a pretty expensive actor.
Oh yeah, because after Lost.
After Lost, yeah, he was pretty popular.
Yeah, but I would have loved to see Blitz in like more of that. I would have loved it. I mean, he only appeared in 2 episodes.
Yeah,
the Blitzgiving episode, and then like that weird wrap up episode with all the side characters.
That's right. Yeah,
it was like a weird like, hey,
that was a cool episode. Like they wrapped up every single side character.
Well, actually, not every single side character, more like the more important ones.
The important ones. I was like, wow, they actually like.
They brought him back for like, hey, we're wrapping up your character. Can you come to a parking lot and film like one scene?
I find it to be impressive when loose ends are tied up.
Oh yeah, I actually got to give that show credit for doing that.
Yeah, that's definitely like one of the things I'm most satisfied with that show. It ties up not every, but
there's one, but none.
Just about every loose end that is important in that show.
Yeah, I'll be completely honest with you. Half the women on that show, I would easily bang.
Oh, of course.
I would have definitely loved to be the Barney in that situation. And
or the Ted. Remember, he had a girl to go out with every episode.
No, I don't remember that. Again,
because like remember in the end of the series when like Ted told, Lily and Marshall that he wasn't moving to Chicago, the thing that he made a big deal out of just for a chick, so they thought it was like his random hoe of the week.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you had a friend like that, wouldn't you easily fucking expect?
Oh, that's exactly how I would feel. Oh my god, yeah.
Like we
but it's a TV show.
Yeah,
so.
I know, and it has to make sense. But no, for that logic. So back to the old logic, like you keep introducing me to shows that you yourself fall apart. Walking Dead, for example, we just talked about that, so we won't try to. Old Girl. Well, you gave up on that show purposely. You don't want to continue.
Yeah.
Cheers and Frasier. You son of a bitch. 22 years of pure comedy.
This starts...
that I binged in a year.
This started on a fucking random day in which I was just bored and cold. And I was just like, you know what? This has 11 seasons.
This should entertain me for a while.
This should entertain me for a while, Like, and I learned that it was a very... popular TV show. I was like, huh. Okay.
You say your mom watched that show back in the day.
Yeah, like, while I was watching, like, the first season, my mom just came in the room and she was just like, why?
Of all shows.
Of all shows, why? And, like, she liked watching the show every now and then, back when it was,
Yeah, that was
in its...
It felt like that thing, like, where you can just jump back in at any time and it'll still feel, like, relevant. Yeah. You can still, like, feel like you never left.
Yeah.
Well, totally. I've left because I finished that show like 6 months ago, and then I got into Frasier.
So like I showed Joseph the show one day because it was pretty fun. Like I'll admit, like, look, it ain't a perfect show just because it's aged, and it's a lot of things in the show are dated.
Oh yeah,
plot wise.
Oh yeah, a lot of things.
So I wouldn't say it's that good. But for what it is, you can get a kick out of it. It's fun.
Oh yeah. For me, it was a slow burn. Like when you showed me the first episode, like I wasn't really that into it. It was fun. It was funny. I'll give it that. They had an interesting setup, and then once I started progressing through the seasons, it just got better and better, and then it got a little stagnant. When some changes happened. You obviously know some cast members came and went. Some new ones joined.
True.
Yeah, I forgot what season you up to again. 8 or 9.
I want to say I'm up to 8. There we go. Yeah, 8.
So yeah, still 3 more years of Cheers, and then 11 more years of Frasier.
Yep. It's a show. To be fair, it is a show I watch casually.
There ain't no casual shows with me. I just put my time and effort into it because once it's over, I'm like, I'm done. I know what I need to know. I watched 400 and something episodes of this universe. They could have easily kept this universe going. They could have easily kept that going. Easily. Because when I was watching Frasier, because I'll give Frasier this. It's not a spoiler or anything, but in the beginning seasons of Frasier, they were relying a lot on the whole Cheers aspect, like some of the old connections. Mm-hmm. But then after season 2 or 3, they're like, no, this is popular enough. Let's do our own thing. And it did really well.
Well, a complaint I heard about another spin-off show, Joey, one that very much tried to be in the same vein as Frasier. Because Friends and Frasier were competing at the time, according to you.
Yeah, well, Frasier started a year before Friends. Then they were just competing with each other after Frasier 2, and when Friends started, and then they both ended the same year, 2004. So we lost 2 great comedies that year.
Yeah, and so, so obviously when Friends ended, they tried to make a show in the same vein as Frasier to try and get the same success, and
another 10-year journey.
Yeah,
but it didn't work out.
Yeah, what I heard about one of my favorite reviewers, he said that he didn't like the fact that there were practically no connections to Friends.
They made a couple references, but it was like, they just completely forgot. Like
he does say it's like he pretty much just completely forgot about his previous life.
I mean, it's a spinoff, so it's like you gotta kind of do that. I mean, I'm not saying like all spinoffs have to do this.
You gotta do your own thing, but you have to at least
acknowledge.
Well,
technically, they did bring back a Friends cast member. I forgot who it was to direct a couple of episodes of Joey. Mm-hmm. But it was like, well, why didn't you like bring him along for like a cameo for like in one of the episodes? That would have at least helped boost the ratings. Like one of Joey's friends makes an appearance.
Yeah,
would have easily boost ratings. No, I've read some complaints about that show. I might do an episode and let Joe talk about it. The problem was they just made Joey into a shell of his former self. In order to make new jokes, make new character developments, they just pretty much made anything that was Joey about him and Friends into nothing.
They like degraded his character,
and that's
back to like season 1.
Yeah, it was like a horror. It was like they pulled an Ash Ketchum.
Yeah, I hate it when any piece of media does that.
I haven't seen much of it though. Besides the Pokemon thing and the Joey thing, I haven't seen much of it. I mean, I'll
try to think of more examples.
I can't think
as
of
we
it.
go along, but
I can't think of anything more. But I haven't seen Joey yet because it's hard to fucking watch it because it's on Netflix.
Yeah, it's really hard to find.
It was just so unpopular. It was like no one.
It really was.
There are the DVDs, but it's like I'm not hunting down those DVDs.
Yeah, who's gonna get those DVDs?
Like if they were cheap on a bargain bin and I can easily access them, I will. But if it's like I gotta go out of my way, I'm like hell no.
Yeah.
But back to Frasier. No, Frasier was an amazing journey, like to start to finish. They made a joke in like the last season. One of the characters said, "Jesus Christ, just imagine playing the same character for 20 years."
Some people like Frasier a lot more than Cheers. I didn't get to watch the show yet, so I'll judge it for myself. But I would love to hear how you feel.
Trying to remember, that's the thing. I think there were a lot more.
I
think they're on par with each other. Like, there's a lot of aspects each show has, so it's like. I don't really know. That's the thing. I can't really like say which one is better. I would like this. Which characters did I enjoy though? I think Frasier would have to be it.
You think so?
I think so because I'm not knocking off Cheers or anything, but it's just like Frasier managed to still capture the same spirit that Cheers was and added on top of it.
Yeah, because, again, like, Cheers, it's a dated show. That's the thing. They make... They say some pretty sexist shit on that
you can't say
show, man.
You can't say anymore in this television era. You can't
shit that was outright rude.
Well, yeah, because it was a different time period. That was like
exactly. It was a different time period.
It was the 70s and the 80s.
Them, you know?
Yeah, the 70s. No, the 80s. It was the 80s.
It's very difficult for something to be timeless, you know?
You got a point. Like, things do go out of style eventually.
Yeah.
No matter what. But yeah, for Frasier, like I talked to you about how Frasier... Well, because when I was starting Frasier, I told you how interested I was, how did Frasier handle majority of, like, the modern events that we obviously lived through. They did a pretty good job of it. Like, the fashion changes, the computers, cell phones. They did an amazing job with that. Again, like I said, there were a lot of characters on Frasier that could have easily spun off into their own 11-season show. I had an idea for it, which I won't say on camera because I don't want people to steal my idea. But if they did another 11-year show, it would still have been into 2015. They could have kept that universe going. That's what I'm saying. But again, like, things come to an end. Like, the creators want to move up to new projects. Like, I could have easily seen Cheers and Frasier go on for a lot longer, but it says the actor's like, you know what, it's time to step back. I want to do new projects, new. And
they have done new projects since then. They've worked on a lot of stuff. All the actors.
I only know Ted. Okay, so the only actors I know personally, Ted Dawson. He had another 6-season show while Frasier was there. Actually, Frasier made a cameo. The actor, not the character. It was not connected. Because obviously there would have been a lot of reference. Like, you look like a lot like a bartender in Boston.
Yeah, you look like a lot like you look a lot like a friend of mine.
So he did that, and he's in another show right now, currently on the air.
Yes,
the Good Place. The Good Place. I heard it's pretty good. I heard it's pretty good. I might jump into it one day, but here's the thing. I forgot what Netflix is on. ABC or Fox. Or see, I don't remember what network.
There's a lot of networks out there.
No, there's only 5 for me. There's ABC, the Marvel stuff. There's Fox that makes Your Epitome of Gotham and The Gifted. The CW, which a lot of my shows are on. I'm a CW whore at this point. NBC, the canceller of all superhero shows, and CBS, which I don't have a show on it yet. Like, I watch shows like, you know, How I Met Your Mother, stuff like that, but that was in like the past. I haven't watched a current CBS show because nothing interests me.
Yeah.
At this juncture, like, if Big Bang Theory ever, you know, I finally get caught up to date to 12 fucking seasons.
I have mainly 3, and that would be NBC for the talk shows and Saturday Night Live. I love all that stuff. And TBS because they show a lot of reruns of shows that I like.
Oh yeah, and they have American Dad.
Yeah, they have American Dad,
which I gotta get back into that show.
And another talk show I like, Conan.
I'm a Jimmy Kimmel guy.
You're a Jimmy Kimmel guy?
I don't know why I like him. I'm like, if it was just the 2 Jimmys, ironically, it would just be Kimmel. I love Kimmel too. Besides,
That's fine.
They get all the Marvel stuff first. So
yeah.
So it's like, I'm not being a dick or anything. Like, I only tuned into Kimmel for Marvel, but it's like, I'm kind of like, if I had the opportunity, if I had the time, and, you know, obviously the sleep for it, I would obviously love to see more Kimmel. But it's just,
and if somebody you're really interested in is on him,
there's a lot of interesting people. It's just, you know, the time. Like,
exactly.
Sometimes when they're premiering a guest, it's like 11:35. Like, I go to work the next morning, so it's like I can't do it. I need my sleep.
Yeah,
sleep. I love these people, but like, I need sleep. I love sleep more. Like, there's a lot of shows like I would love to watch, but it's like, fuck it, I'll DVR it or just forget about it. Or probably just watch it on YouTube.
And my final one is just a block at Toonami.
The Dragon Ball block?
Well, no, like, just the Toonami block. You know what I mean?
Oh, you can't...
I don't watch, like, a lot of Cartoon Network, you know?
I haven't. Just We Bare Bears and Steven Universe at this point.
Yeah, because that channel, unfortunately, has an issue with scheduling.
Oh, yeah, scheduling, but it also has a worse problem with Reboot. Check out the Let's Chill Talk episode right there.
Yes.
Sorry for shoehorning that in. It's just any views. But yeah, Cartoon Network does have a problem with it.
Have you taken a look at, like, one of their daily schedules?
I can assume it's a lot of Teen Titans Go.
It's really bad.
It's the Teen Titans Go Network. Like, they should just, like, cross our Cartoon Network like Teen Titans Go Network. And now they're making a movie out of it.
Yeah.
Which is like, you know what was a joke they made in the trailer for that movie? If Aquaman can get a movie, anyone can. And that's even Warner Brothers knows Aquaman.
Even they know.
Well, technically, Aquaman from Justice League, because I know you haven't seen Justice League late. No, I don't think you're gonna be interested to someday. I mean, you might, but it's like
I'll watch it eventually.
When I buy on DVD, or it's like whenever the fuck it's free.
Either.
No, Aquaman was okay in Justice League. He wasn't a bad character. He was funny. I could see him like leading his own journey, his own adventures. But again, we don't know anything after Aquaman and Shazam, which I know Alan is like fucking. I'm warning you right now, director of Shazam. There is an Asian man standing outside your house right now, just waiting for April 5th to strike. Because Alan has one on record on me before, not on camera.
It's his favorite superhero.
His favorite DC superhero. His favorite Marvel superhero is the Hulk, which he was very critical on in Ragnarok. Well, not critical, but it's more like I got
my own stuff to say about him.
Yeah, but for Shazam, he's like saying, if this director fucks things up, there's going to be a blood. And this is not a threat. This is clear from Alan's mouth. And it's like, fuck. I'm looking forward to April 2019 to see what happens with that movie, but it's like, damn. If that movie just tanks, it's like, oh my god.
I really hope not.
Because, it's
a really good series.
I want all series to succeed.
I read it, so.
I want DC to succeed. I want them to make their own movie. I want them to make great movies again. Because they haven't had a great movie since The Dark Knight.
Really? Yeah. Well, animated movies aside.
Yeah, because live action, Watchmen was...
Live action movies.
Yeah, Watchmen was divisive. Dark Knight Rises, divisive. Man of Steel, divisive. And then after that, it was just like went down. Wonder Woman went up a little bit. But then Justice League kind of just brought it back down a little bit.
Yeah.
And I was so close to touching your face that time. But yeah, I hope for the best for the DC stuff. I said this before a lot. I do want them to make great films. I do want them to make good as Marvel. Probably not as great as Marvel.
I'm fine with that.
Probably not as great as Marvel because Marvel's just killing it.
Yeah.
They are killing. I can't wait to see Well, actually, Black Panther would be out by the time this episode comes live. So
probably.
I can't wait to see Black Panther.
Right.
Yeah, because we saw Creed together.
Correct.
And now they're making Expendables 4. No, these are they're making Expendables 4.
Really?
Just teases there and there, stuff like that. Sylvester Stallone's like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm like, you know what? I got a Golden Globe for Creed, so I was like, I still got it. I just don't know what Creed 2 is going to be about because the new director and everything. I don't trust him. I don't trust any directors.
Yeah. Well, you all right?
Don't worry, I'm not dying on camera. Don't worry.
All right. Well, the thing is, when Creed was announced, that was announced. Creed was announced back in good old 2012.
Yeah, they announced it
and I was just like, oh god, why? One of my favorite movies, no.
And then 3 years later, we saw it together, and you were like, fuck, that was a great movie.
It was. And by the time the trailer came out, I was just like, huh.
You weren't sold on it, but it's like, there's some...
I wasn't sold on it,
there's some hope. Like, there's some hope.
Yeah.
And then you saw the movie.
And then I saw the movie. I was fucking amazed by it.
That was a great movie. That was a great movie. We saw it together. That was a good movie.
Yeah. While all of the Rocky films are,
up and down.
Mixed. They're up and down. Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. Creed is just, without a single doubt, amazing. Yeah, it is a Rocky film done so well. It takes all the aspects of what the Rocky films are made out of, and it just
made something better.
Pretty much.
Which is why I fear.
While it's arguable whether it's better compared to the first Rocky movie, it's arguable.
Yeah, of course, arguable. It's a conversation for another time.
Another time. But you have to admit, it just did a great job with something that all those movies have done.
Yeah, which is why I'm worried for Creed 2.
Which is why I'm worried for Creed 2, yeah.
New director, because Sylvester Stallone was going to direct that movie, but he was like, you know what, I'm just too old to understand this new generation, so I'm bringing in someone else that understands this new generation, like Ryan Coogler.
I don't know.
Because Ryan Coogler's still, well, technically, I feel like he could still make the movie, but it's like after doing Black Panther, which is like a massive undertaking, because he's introducing the first... He's introducing the first main... That's weird, because I'm going to say Blade.
Dude, just making,
a Marvel movie is difficult enough.
Yeah. Even, making an independent film, you're going to be pulling your hair out.
It's like, oh, well, now it's, well, yeah, because right now he's in the spotlight because his movie's up next. So it's like, fuck, I just want to rest. Like, come back to me next year when I'm, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be in Black Panther too. So it's like, that's going to be his career for the next few years, like doing the sequels.
Yeah.
Because at this point, Marvel has found the directors where, yeah, you could stay on board for 2 to 3 films. Which is, like, fucking amazing, because I hate when they fucking, like, change directors. I was like, fuck, can you just keep a director?
Right.
Because when they were starting on the MCU, it was like, change it. And it was like, when the Russo brothers stepped in, it was like, finally, some positivity, some great changes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm excited for Black Panther. I'm excited for what Marvel's going to do next with Phase 4 and beyond.
And with, like, Creed 2, it'll be...
Hopefully good.
I'll give it a chance. I wouldn't be surprised if it was bad, unfortunately, but I'll at least give it a chance to impress me.
I wouldn't be surprised if Rocky died in this one. I wouldn't be surprised. He's just getting old.
Yeah.
Well, then again, I think Ivan Drago's son's going to be in the movie, so that'll be interesting.
I thought Ivan Drago himself was going to be in the movie.
It's conflicted reports. Like, no, it's Ivan Drago. No, it's like Ivan Drago's son. It's like, well, we'll just see. Because I know the movie comes out. The movie comes out this year.
It does. That's weird,
they haven't even started production yet.
Yeah.
No,
they could have started production and just be keeping it from us. Because think about it. It's not like a Marvel movie.
Oh, yeah.
Where, like, you're going to have so many different departments. This is just a movie. This is a movie.
You got a point. All right. So we're winding down this episode. So I'm going to ask George. I'm going to ask you 5 questions that I've always wanted to know about you.
Go for it.
That I'm pretty sure you're gonna be fucking shocked at these questions. I don't know. I'm making these up as I go. Question number 1: where do you see yourself in 10 years?
10 years.
So you're 20. Well, no, you're 19 right now. 19. You're going to be 20 this year. So around this time, you'll be 29, going into your 30s. Because once you hit 30, it's like, fuck, my 20s are over. Like, don't worry, you have a long ways for your 20s. There's still a lot to do, but it's like, in 10 years from now when you're 30, like, where do you imagine yourself career-wise? Where do you imagine seeing yourself with your girlfriend? And, like, where do you see yourself, like, in general? Like, house-wise and kids-wise.
Jesus, and kids-wise? No.
No kids.
Well... Okay, so start off with career because that's kind of what I like to focus on the most. Most authors, they get their careers started around their 30s. That's when they start gaining like major popularity.
Oh, so that's when you're gonna like hopefully.
That's when you're gonna have like a book or 2 published. So I'm going to hope to have a book or 2 published by then. Maybe like a following.
Yeah. They'll support you wherever you go.
That'll support me.
Where you go next.
Yeah. And, maybe I could... Hopefully I'll be working on, like, an ongoing webcomic.
Or a comic in general.
I would definitely love that.
Doing all the panels, doing all this... how many cons would you love to go to? How many cons?
All of them. Oh, no.
Because if you're still with your girlfriend, or maybe even future wife at the time, like, she'll probably kill you. Like, you don't spend enough time at home.
So, yeah, that's where I see myself career-wise. Like, to a point where, like, it'll be gaining a fair amount of traction.
When you start becoming a name.
Yeah, when I start becoming, like, a name. Not a big one, but...
You're still getting there.
I'll be getting there. And girlfriend-wise,
That's in 10 years from now. Think about like in that sense.
It's very tough to think of. I would like to hope that, it works out.
You don't know really.
I don't know really. If it works out, it works out. If it doesn't,
But by that time period, you'll be hitting with this current one 11 years. So it's like marriage would have to be something to really consider. Yeah. Because I remember, non jokes aside, I saw the Muppets movie. It's like the 2011 one, not the original one.
Yes.
One of the human characters were dating for 10 years, and the woman was like, God, when the fuck is the ring? Like, at least at the 5-year mark, he should have at least been engaged. I mean, sure, it's a few years engagement, so...
I would say, like, 5 to 7 years.
Which means, are we getting a wedding in 6 years? Oh, don't worry, bro.
Calm your shit, man.
I like to think ahead with the ones I'm positive will work. But, Oh no, I will help you out with any engagement.
Yeah, again, I like to think that stuff works out, but
you don't know, really. You don't know really.
I don't know really.
Okay, well we just and definitely no kids by 30. No kids.
Definitely no kids by 30.
No kids.
Honestly, like having kids anyways is just like a big question mark, you know?
I'm drawing a question mark right now with my fingers.
I know some people want them, some people don't.
Oh yeah, I definitely want kids.
Yeah.
2-3 kids at least. Not a full house side, not a Brady Bunch side, but just 2-3 kids. A boy and a girl at least. And then a cute wiener dog for at least 12, 15 years because that's how long they live for apparently. Okay, so question number 2 though. This is a big one. Marvel or DC?
Okay.
You got 3 categories. You got the comic category.
I'm not going to be like the guy who's just like, well, I like this for this and I like this for this. No, I like DC, okay?
In all calendars.
When it comes down to it, I just love the company. What I meant to say before during my like origin story section, Green Lantern, the comic book series, the one that Jeff Johns worked on, that is one of my main influences. That's one of the main things that got me into writing and creativity itself. And so I've just gotten into the entire DC universe from that point. It is something that I have invested a lot of reading time into.
A lot of money.
A lot of money.
Limited money to comic books. I'm kidding.
Yeah. And, you know, Batman is my favorite superhero just because from a writing standpoint, it's a fucking genius, you know, plot device to go with.
Yeah, there's a lot to do with the character.
There's a lot you can do with the character. So, overall, I just like DC. All right?
Does this mean you finally support Gotham?
No, it does not mean I support that show. That show was always a stupid idea.
What about the Arrowverse shows?
I might get into them one day.
Oh, so now it's a maybe, because
it's always been a maybe, but if you keep annoying me with it...
I have all the seasons over there.
I know. But I will be fair, though, and say that Marvel... I fucking love Marvel, actually. Like, I'm... You know, considering what I just said, I do like DC more. It's just... You know, Marvel, it just has so much great content to, you know, provide with both comics and movies and TV shows. You know... Overall, for media, Marvel might be doing better, in my opinion.
Except for Iron Fist.
Yeah.
That was and Inhumans, thank God it's canceled.
Yeah. I just have a personal connection with DC. You know?
I feel you. For me, it's...
And I like it.
Yeah, I feel you. Marvel's like my people. Because Spider-Man. Spider-Man was number 1. First superhero movie, I think it was my first movie ever.
You want to rewatch the Sam Raimi trilogy, by the way?
I got the whole trilogy right there, so whenever.
One day.
I still love 2. 2 will always be the highest. Then 1, then obviously 3.
Yeah.
Obviously 3. 3 was like, oh, I might do an episode on that one day. Well, actually, that was going to be the premiere episode of Let Joe Talk, but then shit happened in May.
Yeah.
Shit happened, so I'm like, okay, I got to delay this till, like, when did I start the show? September?
Like, when did I say September to October?
Yeah, because I think that's when I started, I think it was September, because I did the update video around that time.
Okay,
I don't remember. I don't even remember my own timeline history. I don't even remember.
Trust me, Joseph, your timeline is much less confusing than either DC or Marvel.
Just imagine the whole time there was a second timeline.
Oh,
God. And we converged those timelines together to form a new prime timeline. Holy fucking shit. No, I can't do this. Question number 3. God, I'm trying to think of like a proper... Because I know my last question for you, but I'm trying to figure out some good ones for you.
You don't have to do 5.
No, I want to do 5 because I don't like doing 1. 1 is too little. 2 is like 3 is like okay, but like 3 for everything is like just not that good. Pick up Spider-Man 3, Arrow season 3, Flash season 3, X-Men 3, the prequels 3.
Okay.
Really trying to think. Well, future Joe, me, you could just cut this out while I'm thinking of a question. Okay, so PlayStation or Xbox? Okay, how about this? How about this?
Okay, so here's the thing. I've grown up with Nintendo. I do prefer them overall. I'm saving up for a Switch at the moment. Yeah, I do prefer Nintendo. It's just that, like, I currently own a PlayStation 4, and I fucking love it.
Mm.
A lot of great games to provide.
Oh yeah,
on
a lot.
It.
And then
It is a great piece of equipment. Although I actually do like, Windows 10 and all, and I know that like the Xbox, platform is similar to it. And so like I considered getting an Xbox One, but
I don't know. It's too much of an investment right now.
It's too much.
Because you gotta invest in the console, the headset, the controllers, the membership costs,
and
of
the
course,
games that don't exist for it.
They had they have Halo and Gears, but it's like even those aren't enough, really.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I liked Halo as a kid, but I'm not gonna buy a console for it, man.
You gotta, yeah.
Yeah. So while I like, the Xbox related things, I even love the shape of the controller.
Yeah, no, I think PlayStation has the better. I think the PlayStation has the better controller.
Yeah, that's a personal thing.
And they come with more colors that are easily to get than having to sign up for a custom program, which is like
True.
It's like a fucking
yeah. So I kind of have to pick PlayStation, just because at the moment they're just killing it.
Oh yeah, they were really good. They're coming out and bro, Spider-Man for PS4.
They're doing great
this year. I can't wait for Spider-Man. Like, I want to say, fuck all my friends. Fuck any girlfriend I'm with at the time. Fuck my job. Fuck school. I'm going to be committed to Spider-Man. That will be my luck. Because you gotta admit, we waited such a long time for another great Spider-Man game.
Right?
We went through...
It's been years.
The shitty Activision, the shitty Spider-Man 3, which, here's the thing.
I don't think that all of the Spider-Man games are bad. It's just, like, you can tell they could have been... just a little bit better.
You know me, I went for a journey.
A little bit.
I went on a journey with these Spider-Man games. 07, I didn't know, George, that I owned the worst version of the worst Spider-Man game at the time. Because Spider-Man 3 on Wii was, according to people, you're an idiot for buying it, even at full price. And I'm like, I bought it at full price.
I'm like 10.
Well,
how old were you? Like 10?
Yeah, but my dad bought it for me.
Exactly. So, what you
But I didn't know.
Yeah, you didn't know.
Because they're like, oh, Spider-Man 2 was amazing. And then Spider-Man 3 was like, oh my god, this is horrible. Like, the controllers was like the fighting, like, We gotta do a Couch Gamers episode on that someday. Just to see how shitty. I want to see your reaction to the shittiness that was Spider-Man 3. Then it was Friend and Foe, which was like a tie into the movies, but it was like its own story.
Yeah.
That was... I have the PSP version and the DS version. Don't ask why. Then it was Web of Shadows, which was when I bought a PS3, which, bro, you know how expensive a PS3 was in 2008.
Oh, God.
My dad spent full price on it.
Jesus.
$600. Or was it...
Whoa.
600 or 500? I forgot. He spent a lot, because my dad was like... That was at the time when my dad was at like a breaking limit with money. Well, not like breaking limit, more like he was like really becoming conscious. Like, I think I'm buying you too many games. Because when I said, Dad, I want a PS3. And I was like, okay. He checked the price. Like, he was like a little stubborn when I was like telling him, oh, I need a game for this too. I'm like, he was like annoyed with it. So it's like, and then Web of Shadows was like, good story, bad character development, bad execution. So I was like, and gameplay was horrible. And it was just like, Amazing Spider-Man 1, Amazing Spider-Man 2.
They were
2 was like...
They were playable.
Playable, yes. Enjoyable, not really. I still have to go back and platinum Amazing Spider-Man 2, sadly. And don't say I have to do it. I have to do it because I want to delete that shit off my fucking PS4. I want to delete that.
Alright.
But you know what's bullshit? The last 2 trophies. One, I have to grind out my levels for all the suits, and I bought the DLC suits too, so I'm like, I screwed myself further. And the second one, which is like, I have to beat on the highest difficulty, which is like, I technically did, but it's like, oh no, you have to beat a full playthrough of it. Like, you have to start a new file. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? That's stupid. I beat the game in superhero mode, so what if I had to pick the levels? Doesn't matter?
Yeah.
So it's like, fuck.
My personal favorite is Ultimate Spider-Man.
That was a good one. That was a really good one.
Because that was one based off of the comics, which I loved.
Same. That was the one that got me into comics, which then dropped me out of comics, so.
Yeah. And I just thought, like, it was a very extensive game for the time. There was a lot of stuff to do.
It's a collectathon.
Yeah.
which is like I think I'm like 50% done with the collective fund. I still need to go back into it, which is like, wait, did I beat it? No, I didn't. I beat Mario. I beat Sunshine for GameCube, not that one.
Yeah,
I have to go back to it someday. Okay, so fourth question: what is the worst? What is worse, the Star Wars prequels or the Last Jedi?
Oh, the prequels.
Okay.
I'm not gonna be that asshole, you know. Like, there's good things in the new film. There are bad things in the new film.
Okay, more specifically, what's the worst prequel of the prequel trilogy?
Sorry, I'm coughing so much.
Yeah.
I haven't watched the prequels in a long time, except for 3. I rewatched that recently.
Yeah, because for me, it's like the movie with Jar Jar Binks, the one with a shit ton of CGI, and the only real good prequel.
From memory, I don't like Attack of the Clones the worst.
You got a point. Like
I found that to be like you know, even though like 1 was horrible, 2 was just like
one worse.
Nothing happened.
It was just a love story just to get the it was like a setup for 3.
Yeah.
It's like
really bad one too.
Then again, like I feel like how George Lucas made the prequels like as soon as the originals were done, it could have been better because like
he always had the idea in his head.
He was going to do 9 films, 9 or 12.
Yeah.
He was like, do the originals, then the prequels, then the sequels, and then that further trilogy, which I don't think it's ever going to get made anymore. I don't think so. I don't know what's on Disney's quote. Besides the whole episode 9,
well, no, he had plans for like, you know, episode 7, 8, and 9.
The original sequels.
Yeah, the original sequels. But, you know, Disney, they just preferred to go their own direction with it. Which, you know what?
Okay.
Fine.
You gave me money, which I donated all the charity, which I'm not a bad thing.
They owned it, so
it's their charge.
It's their charge.
And they're just building to their massive media empire.
Yeah.
You got Marvel, you got Pixar, you got now Fox in the back corner.
Just so we're clear, Star Wars, fucking amazing. Like, movies that I grew up with, you know, it is one of the greatest trilogies of all time. Original trilogy, obviously. Just one of the greatest, you know, stories ever fucking conceived. In my opinion, at least. I know not everyone feels that way.
Oh, yeah, obviously.
Just... Jesus, man.
But I feel like it's a culture phenomenon since The Force Awakens did make over $2 billion.
Yeah.
Which is like, well, technically Star Wars didn't go away.
I liked it.
Star Wars
because Star Wars there were a couple issues.
With The Last Jedi.
With Force Awakens. I liked it.
Force Awakens was fine. Last Jedi was the one that was like, okay, kind of, well, not really good, but it's like, well... I said this in my episode where it's enjoyable. It's a good film. It's just that there's a lot of problems and prevents it from being better.
Yeah.
Which is like I'm hoping like J.J. Abrams comes back in and like just hits a home run with episode 9.
Oh God, I'm so worried for it because the thing is, The Last Jedi, it's an embarrassment. Not like I'm not saying like it's a horrible film. I'm saying that, like, you know, J.J. Abrams, he wrote and directed 7. And so he had ideas.
For
8 and 9. But he couldn't work on 8. That's understandable.
Because Disney wanted to do, like, a new direction. Like, a new director for each installment.
Yeah, and he was busy, too. So, like, that's understandable. But Rian Johnson, he just took everything that he set up and just...
fucked it.
He fucked it, unfortunately. Like, look, man, I get it. I perfectly understand that you want to go in different directions for the franchise.
But it's a trilogy, and it has to all make sense in the end. Like, once episode 9 comes out on DVD, we are going to rewatch the sequel trilogy. See, like, okay, how does it flow into the next movie? And that's going to be now a problem when we get to episode 9. It's like, there's a huge flow problem now.
There's going to be a huge
which is why,
problem.
and they're on a time crunch, because, like, not only do they have to, like, really figure out, like, what are we going to do with
I don't think they have to worry about time that badly.
Well, it's not that, it's post-production, right? All the CGI, all the special effects they have to do. Like, that takes time. It's not just...
Well, yeah, but it's going to get made either way.
It's going to happen, but it's just
they got the money for it.
Oh, definitely they have the money for it.
So,
but it's just
I don't think time is necessarily the most important issue.
It's just doing it properly, because you're wrapping up a trilogy for a generation. You're wrapping it up. So it's like... I said this in the review, like, damn, it's crazy how I remember hearing the news for the sequel trilogy when I was playing Halo fucking 3 with Alan. And
wow. Yeah.
It was Alan or Tyler, I don't remember. Yeah, it was Alan, because he was a Star Wars fan like me. And I was like, damn, I cannot wait to see these, and we're already almost over with them. It's like, damn, time moves by fucking quickly.
It does.
I want to go back in time, because there's just so many things I want to do.
Hey, look, no matter what happened in the prequels, I'm gonna wrap this up.
No, we still have one more question.
Well, yeah, I'm saying I'm gonna wrap up this question.
Oh, okay.
No matter what happens in the prequels, no matter what happens in the current trilogy, no matter what is going on in the extended universe, at the end of the day, we have the 3 films. We have adaptations of those 3 films.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing will change them. Nothing will change how I feel about them and how much I love them.
Yeah, same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, so last question.
Let's do this.
Which I just forgot. I had it in my mind, like, I'm ready for this last question. Oh, crap, I really did forget. What was my last question to you? Oh, yeah, okay, now I remember. So what is your official thoughts on spinoffs? Because I've annoyed you to death with my ideas.
You've annoyed me to death with these.
Like spinoffs, because for me, I like it when franchises continue. I love spinoffs, even though like majority of the spinoffs do suck, because they don't know what to do really for spinoffs. Like, we're just taking the popularity and hoping everything works out. And 90% of the time,
Money.
It just doesn't really. Well, it's not. I don't know how TV works really, because it's like you gotta think of budgeting, you gotta think of actors available, you have to think of a lot of different factors. So I don't think profit is a big one. It's like, how many commercials can we get for this? How many good commercials can we get for this show? If you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like all the good ones, like for example, for CW goes to The Flash, because that's like the highest rated show on the network right now. And then Supernatural, then shockingly for you, I think Riverdale is one of them, or Supergirl, I don't remember. No, Riverdale kicked. No, it was Supergirl. So what is your official stance on spinoffs? Are you like okay with it, even though I bombard you with death with my spinoff ideas?
So here's the thing: spinoffs are not only in TV shows.
Oh, in movies too.
They are apparent in every form of media: books, comics, TV shows, movies, all of that. They are apparent in them, and there are things that I think should not be touched. Sorry, it's hard to think of an example at the moment. Like Lord of the Rings. That is an intended 3 movies. That's the story. That's what you get.
That's
okay.
It.
There's The Hobbit. That's just what happens
before.
That just happens to be in the same world.
Mm-hmm.
There was never any intention. But, they just happen to be, all in Middle Earth.
Yeah, of course.
But at the end of the day, The Lord of the Rings is, 3 books.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta read them.
Yeah.
Watch the movies if you want.
But, yeah.
And that's how it is.
Yeah, but
there's things that I really feel like shouldn't be touched. But, at the same time, you then have universes, like Star Wars, in which,
there's a lot of empty corners that could be filled.
Literally anything could have fucking happened in that universe.
So many galaxies, so many, other planets.
So many planets.
So many adventures to happen.
Yeah, there's a lot that you can do with that, which is why I'm so glad that an extended universe exists for that.
A proper one out.
A proper one. And, there are even spin-offs that I want to happen. I would love to see a Yoda-related movie.
They might make that someday.
Someday I would love to see that.
#Blitz spinoff for How I Met Your Mother.
But yeah, then again, I just feel like you can tell that they're just made for money, You
got a point. I mean, I understand, Joey obviously was one.
They're made out of pure greed. Let's just...
Sometimes it works out despite greed. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. It just...
Sometimes.
For TV specifically, it just depends on the ratings, depends on how people connect. Because I remember the Cleveland show, for example, that was a spin. That was the biggest example of a recent history of a spinoff not working out.
Yeah.
Because it's after the first season, Family Guy just made fun of that show. Because it's after they got the 4th season renewal, they gotta have that subconscious feeling it's not gonna get season 5.
They outright had no faith.
No, they had faith in season 1. Then after season 2, when they were starting getting to the weeds, this one the show started dipping in quality a lot. It just, fans started dropping off. It did the same as Bob's Burgers, which was, I think, the lowest rated animation show on the network. But it was like more popular. It was more loved by fans than Cleveland Show, which was getting bad reviews at the time. It's like even Family Guy knew, like, every time Cleveland was on Family Guy, or every time a Family Guy character was on the Cleveland Show, they just make fun of it.
Yeah.
It's like one episode I remember, because I was thinking this when I was taking a shower. There was an episode where the guy showed up in Cleveland's show, and they said, "Oh, thank you so much for coming." He's like, "Oh no, Fox is just paying us to be here. That's
yeah.
I don't care about you." Well, that's kind of a rude thing to say, but it's like, it's like that's the truth. Like, they're only there for like possible extra ratings.
Yeah, but when something like that happens in a TV show, the fans react so negatively to it.
Oh yeah,
because it's just so apparent that they don't care. They just don't. And like, I heard bad things about the new Ghostbusters film. It was just like,
I haven't seen that one yet.
Like, I'll watch it one day.
Like, it could have been a great film.
Of it. But it could have been
more.
It could have been more.
Because they had a Ghostbusters 2 plan. They had like an extended, like another more spin-offs to happen. If the first one did well, but it didn't.
While I don't think Ghostbusters 2 is like
better than the first.
Yeah, nowhere.
It was still
better.
good.
It was still fun,
more adventures.
Yeah.
Which I think is what anyone wanted at the end of the day, if you could do that. But it's like, at this point, it's just money.
Yeah.
If it doesn't make money, sorry. You're going to have to probably get a fundraiser, or maybe in 10 years when it's like memorable to be like, yeah, remember 10 years ago? Yeah, let's do it again.
Yeah.
Like Triple X, like last year. You remember Triple X? Like,
I heard of it, yeah.
They did one with Vin Diesel, then they did one with Ice Cube, and that bombed so bad that it just forgored any other films to happen. Then Vin Diesel, when he got more popular with Fast and the Furious and all his other films, he was like, yeah, remember 10 years ago we did this film? Let's do another one. Let's bring it back. And he did it, and it did so well. So it's like, maybe for some films that deserve a sequel, let's wait a little bit, come back to it, like when a new generation's like into it, like someone that understands, like, yeah, this is a good film, and let's put money into it. Yeah. Like Jumanji just fucking beat Justice League.
Yeah.
I was like, God damn.
I was like, oh.
It's like,
man.
A team of superheroes got beat by The Rock, Jack Black, Kevin Hart, and the chick from Guardians of the... I'm sorry, I don't remember her name. I mean, I know you know her name because she was in your Doctor Who show, but no, I found it hilarious how, some projects work, some projects don't.
Yeah.
And I'm really sure Warner Bros. is just licking their wounds right now. Like, we got beat by Sony. Sony finally kicked the Warner Brothers ass.
Even like one of the most popular game in a certain franchise was considered a spin-off game at one point.
Which one?
Castlevania Symphony of the Night. That was considered a spin-off game, but it played so closely to
the originals.
So they changed up a lot of things and added new mechanics and stuff. So
it was a spin-off.
It was considered a spin-off at the time, but then like it was so popular that Konami just decided that's where the franchise is going.
Well, I haven't seen Castlevania in like a long fucking time, so I don't really know.
Oh yeah, no, like it's fuck Konami now currently, but
whatever.
I'm just saying, like in terms of spin-offs, they can work out.
Oh yeah, honestly, and I can't wait because I can't wait. I joke around with spin-offs a lot, but it's like if they happen, I will support them, and if it doesn't work out, well.
Yeah.
What can you really do? At the end of the day, it's the creators, it's probably the actor, the writers, whoever it is, someone's fault in the end. So it's like, oh well. To end off this note, I'm pretty sure if Gotham ever got a spin-off, you'd probably kill yourself.
Oh god.
Don't worry, Gotham's not getting a spin-off. They don't have the ratings or the money to do that. Don't worry.
Good.
I mean, how can you make a spin-off of Gotham? Like Bloodhaven?
Bloodhaven.
It's probably just like half the Gotham cast like, let's move over to Bloodhaven. Like, well, what about this show? You're gonna kill him. Like, oh, who cares? We'll do 2 seasons of Bloodhaven. But don't worry, that's not happening. Don't worry. If Bloodhaven ever happens in the real world, I'm like, you owe me $5.
So that's the question you want to leave off on?
Yes. Will Gotham ever get a spinoff? Probably not. I'm pretty sure it's gonna end after this season. I would even bet it'll get a season 5. Which I know knowing you, George, you'll probably bang your head so many times when May comes around. Come on, at least one last proper season just to like end it off. Like
one last, all right.
But Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. still deserves season 6. Okay. Well, thank you guys so much for listening to it. If you didn't know, this has been the PodXCast on youtube.com/ActionX3000. I do not know if I have that URL yet. And podcast services, hopefully, on multiple services, because I don't know what I know we got SoundCloud. I know that. We got
SoundCloud.
Well, I don't know. Spotify's kind of taking me a while. And iTunes. iTunes. Like, I had no idea how much it took to make a podcast account. I did not know. But at least
very tough.
At least
please support us, guys. At least definitely use it.
At least on SoundCloud, you can download it there, listen to us whenever you want. And thank you, George, for being the first guest.
Thank you, Joseph.
You can't tell, but I'm shaking his hand very, very hardly.
Yes.
Does it hurt?
A little.
See you guys then.
See ya.